Hello everyone, it's great to be back again on the Amity Online Insta Live Smart Class. Um, so, I've been asked to talk about starting early and the trials and tribulations of being an entrepreneur and what you need to face when you run a startup. So let me just start by starting early, right? What were the trials and tribulations I felt when I started out at the age of 21 when I was still studying. In fact, I started working after my post graduation. I started off around that time, and then I also did my MBA, a full-time MBA along with it. But at that point in time, although I had very limited resources, I had not taken any money from home to start up. I was running a service oriented company. I was providing writing services to production houses as well as creating education content and CBTs for larger companies like NIIT and Tata Interactive. So I was earning money. All right, when you're running a service oriented startup, you're still getting revenue based on the services you offer. So it was a little, let's just call it a little more enhanced form of a freelancing assignment where I had people recruited who were writing for me. So, although it wasn't, say, the most innovative setup, but it was revenue generating and it taught me a whole lot of things. But at the same time, after I finished my post graduation, I decided to work for a while because what happens is when you start really young, you know that your experience is going to take you only to say a level 1, but you need that additional experience of working in a larger enterprise to widen your horizons, to take you somewhere else, right, to the next level altogether. So, because you meet people who are more experienced than you meet people from diverse teams and a diverse setup. Because when you start early, you've only met your colleagues in your college, right, or maybe some if you had a little bit of work experience. But so working with, I took up a job with Groupon India, and it taught me a whole lot about digital marketing. It taught me everything I know about marketing, in fact, at that point in time. So it gave me now I wouldn't say everything, but it laid a solid foundation for it. So when I started after that, right, I started another service startup, but that entire thought process was very different. I sort of had clarity in terms of how to help other startups reach a certain growth factor. And then I used that experience to help certain startups grow 10x to 20x. So that helped me. But it also gave me the maturity. That experience also gave me the maturity to think of a project or a product idea. And a product idea requires far more investment when it comes to, before the product goes live and then, marketing it. And it requires little lesser effort, towards the middle of it. Because in a service oriented startup, it's an ongoing effort, right? You have to deliver month on month, week on week, every day. So if you're running a social media company, you would be creating posts every day. If you're running if you're writing scripts, and you have to deliver scripts at every regular interval. But if you have a product, what you're doing is you're trying to understand the market, you're trying to build something, and then the only time you have to actually invest time on your product is when you get feedback from your customers and you want to innovate further, right? That's also a continuous process, but it's not really time bound. Like, you can come out with the next release in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 10 weeks, so on and so forth. But the important part is that you need good people to work with. You need a sound team, and that's almost as critical as everything else in the startup is. That's the point where things start, where that maturity is required. So if you're running a project or a product oriented, sorry, I used the word project, but if you're running a product oriented startup, then those are things that you need to evaluate. You would need investments. So how do you get those investments? You would need to reach customers. Who's helping you with your business development? Are you doing it yourself? If you're doing it yourself, then you need to have a solid network. I learned these things as I grew, and I'm still learning. the only thing about being an entrepreneur is that you're continuously learning. You're continuously learning about different things, different people, different sectors, different industries, so on and so forth. So, but that learning process might not always be smooth. It comes with some big failures as well. And that's what you need to be agile towards. The biggest failure, I think the biggest challenge that we've had so far is the coronavirus. And I belong to the education industry. So schools not opening up has been a challenge. And a lot of other edtech companies have come up targeting the B2C space. For me to stick to my, guns and, just ensure that I offered a niche offering to a select set of people and children and schools, vis-a-vis going all out there and mass marketing and all of that, was a big step. So, you need to find your calling, you need to find what your market is. Within the same sector, your market could be entirely different from several other players. So, identifying where your strengths lie, where your weaknesses lie, what you're great at, and how do you highlight all of that is the most important thing. In technical terms, doing a SWOT analysis of your own business every time. You have to do it month on month, if not month on month, at least every quarter on quarter, and sort of see how much your progress is aligned with your goals. Sometimes your goals are going to change, sometimes your process is going to change. So running a startup is all about being agile, about recalibrating yourself, about having a set of people to work with, mentors to mentor you, to help you ensure that you're still on track. And yeah, finding the right co-founder, finding the right team, that's also very critical to the success, to your success. That comes in a little, that process becomes smoother a little as you grow. So that's the important part. I think that's one thing that helped me understanding myself, understanding what I wanted to do, more critically in that niche space, building that niche for myself, for my company, and getting the right people to align with that niche. Those are important things that I learned along the way. And at the same time, I'm still learning how to recreate my business plan, how to keep ensuring that it evolves, and it grows better and better with every growing week, month, and so. And it's an ongoing process. So, like Amazon started as a company that sold books online and moved on to an e-commerce company that sold everything online. So that's a huge paradigm shift, right? So similarly, every business needs to keep identifying where their strengths lie, and as your team grows, as you grow, those strengths also keep changing. So those are things that agility is something that I've learned, and I'm still learning as an entrepreneur. Acceptance of failure, moving in a new direction, that's something that I've been in the process of learning, and also creating and building, getting my numbers right, identifying newer metrics, figuring out which metrics actually suit my business better, what is it that I should actually be following and working upon as a growth metric against the conventional ones. Those are things that I've been learning, and that's how you keep growing. So starting early has a key advantage because your sole focus in life is setting that business up and making it grow. So that's a key advantage. I would spend all my time working, and the amount of dedication I had then was far greater. But now I'm more focused and more task oriented, more oriented towards, I know I can operate more quickly because intuition has now set in. So as you age, that's one area that becomes easier for you. So there is no real remedy for this. There's no real path. You need to identify your own path and figure out what you're best at. So that's all I can give as gyan. It might sound really, really, it's a lot of gyan, so to say, but it's actually true. So that's about me. Thank you.